Hi, everybody. This is Michael Levitis from JurisQ.com with divorce attorney Marina Shepelsky, our regular guest. We love having you on. You make everything so simple the way you explain it, very relatable too as well. And I want to talk to you about a term, a subject that everybody heard, but not everybody knows exactly what it means. And that subject is alimony, right? So alimony, I understand it's like support and maintenance. You pay your spouse. Can you please explain what you can get it for, who qualifies, who does not? Does the husband pay the wife? Can it be vice versa? What's going on?
Right. So first of all, hi, everyone. I'm Marina Shepelsky. I'm the founder of Shepelsky Law Group. We are divorce attorneys, but we also practice in the field of immigration. Alimony is something that a lot of people are confused about.
Right.
Because some people know what child support is, because child support has the word child in it. But then there's alimony. So people get confused, like, are they different? Are they the same? Who pays whom? So let's break it down in super simple terms. Child support, just like the name implies, is for the non-custodial parent, meaning the parent who lives away from the kids, to support the kids. And they usually pay the custodial parents. Just to confuse it further, if the non-custodial, put it this way, if the custodial parent, meaning whoever the kids live with, is a much higher earner, sometimes even in those situations, the custodial parent has to pay the lower income parent, even if the kids don't live with a lower income parent. So that's also confusing, but that's for another day. So child support is for the children.
Right.
Okay. Alimony is sometimes called spousal support or maintenance, right? Depending where you live, what part of New York or New Jersey you are.
Okay.
How does that work? So first of all, there used to be a lot more unfairness in the system. And then the state of New York legislature got together and they changed the guidelines for child support and alimony. And basically they said, look, if the marriage is a long one, the person who makes less money, and it could be a man or a woman, by the way, you asked me before, like, is it always the wife who gets alimony? Not at all.
Yeah.
But if the incomes are really, really far apart, like more than 50,000, I would say, then whoever earned more during the marriage is supposed to keep the other spouse in the same lifestyle. And I'm doing this for air quotes because that's like a legal term, right?
I see.
So you're supposed to keep the other spouse in the same lifestyle after the divorce as they were during the marriage.
For how long, Marina? For how long?
How long depends on the length of the marriage, first of all. Also, it depends, on the situation. So some people can agree to like a fixed amount. Some people can agree to a certain formula. And of course, it's affected also by child support. So if the spouse who's the higher earner is paying child support, they usually pay a little less alimony to compensate.
I see.
If there's no child support, the maintenance sometimes increases. And so this is pretty complex, and it's hard to say who pays how much at what point. But just know this, the higher earner spouse has to pay the other spouse for some time after the marriage.
So it's not like a set formula.
For some time after the divorce, after the marriage is terminated.
So Marina, it's not a set formula. It is something that a judge decides what is necessary to maintain your same lifestyle as before.
So there is a formula. I just don't want to get into it here. There is definitely a formula, and there's guidelines, and there's even an online calculator that I sometimes use. But you can opt out of it. You can change things. Every divorce looks different.
Okay, but what if, let me ask you a question. What if you got your alimony, you are now have the same lifestyle, your private jets and all that good luxury stuff, but then you get remarried? Do you still keep that alimony or no, or it goes away?
It depends on the agreement. For example, like most judges would say, if let's say the wife who made less money during the marriage remarries, she shouldn't get paid anymore because now she has a new supporter. But some agreements state otherwise. Some agreements don't specify or say, even in case of remarriage of the lower earning spouse, the higher earner continues to pay her. And again, it's usually tied to the kids. And so if it's a short marriage, there might be no alimony at all.
I see.
There's no. But if it's like a 20-year marriage, it's going to be approximately half of the time of the marriage that the alimony will continue.
I see.
So if it's like a 20-year marriage, I wouldn't be surprised if the alimony was between 7 to 9 years, like approximate.
So in a hypothetical, let's say a girl gets married to a rich dude. They're together only a year or two. And then they had falling out. He finds somebody else. She moves on, whatever. Is she still entitled to some kind of alimony, or would you say 1 or 2 years is too short of a period of time?
There might be, but very little. It would be maybe like a few months, 2, 3, 4 months. Also, remember that alimony is never the sole issue. It's never like the one issue. It's always alimony plus dividing up assets. And then there's a question of how much of the assets, like what you described now, like the rich dude, how much assets did he grow, even though this was a short marriage, but maybe he had like a great gain on the stock market, or maybe they bought a house together, even if it was a short marriage, and so on. So it's always complex with marriages that have assets, that have one person earning more than the other. We look at so many things, and I highly recommend getting an attorney. And I don't recommend sharing one lawyer. Like some people think, oh, we can share one lawyer.
No, that's a no-no. We had a whole segment with you why it's such a mistake to have a same attorney for both parties, even if you agree on everything. And guys, go back to our previous videos. You're going to see a video on why you should always get your own separate attorneys, no matter what. A little bit of a tidbit. Alimony, I took some Spanish. In Spanish comes from Latin. It comes from the root of alimentar. Alimentar in Spanish means to feed, to support.
Right.
That's what it's for. Alimony is to feed you, and now, as we discovered, to keep you in the same lifestyle.
Yeah, and it differs from situation to situation. Like,
of course,
I had a client where he was the much higher earner, but it was by choice. The wife had some sort of a license that she went to graduate school. She had a good job and a good career before the kids. Right. And then they decided that she was going to be a stay-at-home mother, even though she had like a job that if she goes back to the job market, she could make like $100,000 a year. Right. So we argued that, okay, she gets some alimony, not to say that she didn't deserve any alimony, but to say that there was like, let's say a 15-year marriage and she should get 8 years of alimony when she's a high earner herself. She just was waiting for the kids to get a little older, and they were already older at the time that this divorce was happening. They were in high school already. So there was no reason for her to like be a stay-at-home mom, especially since they were getting divorced. So we convinced the judge and like the opposing counsel and her that we would like they would agree to less time, but maybe like a little higher monthly payments.
So what I get here, the idea is it's highly complex. It's very situation and circumstances specific. So it's always a good idea to talk to an attorney when you are thinking about getting divorced, to get an idea of how the assets will be split, whether you're entitled to alimony, whether you'll be able to get alimony, or whether you have to pay alimony. So we're going to have the number of your law office on the bottom of the screen, and people should definitely call you for consultation. And also they can drop their comments below the post. Like us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and follow us for more great sessions with Marina Shepelsky, a divorce attorney, on topics of divorce law, of course, matrimonial, family law, and so on. Marina, thank you so much, and have a great day. Take care.